Good evening. My name is Sherry Fredericks, and I'm so excited to see so many of you here on our weekly Zoom calls. Our topic today is the Fall Winter Catalog. Raise your hand if you have one in your possession. So quite a few of you. Yay, Christy, yeah. Either you got your special mailing. Raise your hand if you received your special mailing. Okay, so quite a few of you. I know someone got theirs on Saturday. I just got mine today. If you don't get your special mailing, it happens. You need to notify Tastefully Simple, okay? Because in that special mailing is, of course, a catalog. And then, as the rest of you know, like what's new, and talks about how to earn money and talks about our incentive trip. So, okay, there we go. So make sure you get it. Sometimes things, they get lost in the mail. Okay, so let's start out with some victories. I'm going to limit it to 2 or 3. And we like to talk business related victories, and it can be big or small. So Ryan wants to start. Go, Ryan.
Okay, so I've been busy. I've got a renewed sense of wanting to get stuff done. And so I have booked 5 either online or tasting parties through November. Nice. And 7 vendor events.
Oh, wow.
Woo. Oh, Ryan.
Good job, Ryan.
Way to get back on the saddle.
Yes. Yes.
Congratulations. Anybody have?
Oh, and a sponsoring conversation.
Oh, yes. And speaking of, I see Barbara on here. She was the winner of the Big Ask promotion that we did in July. So you'll get that in the mail, your $50 Amazon gift card. So as my mom would say, when she would give me a $20 bill when I was back in college, don't spend it on alcohol and spend it wisely, Sherry.
Did you spend it on alcohol?
Who would buy alcohol when you just go to parties and you pay $1 or whatever? I don't know. No, you pay that cover charge and you get it. Anyway. Okay, Ryan, so congratulations. Way to get on a roll. And I know you're going to keep moving, and I'm excited. I offered to do an online party for Ryan, so I'm really excited to do that next week for you, Ryan. That would be super fun. Get you going. Okay, who else has a victory they'd like to share, big or small?
I'll go.
Oh, Laura, yes, please.
I had a random order come in today from someone I don't know. I don't know if I did like a little premiere party with my VIPs last night in preparation for the launch today. So I don't know if it's one of their friends or if she just found me. She lives like in a town that's not too far from where I'm at. So she might have just found me on the site, but yeah, it was over a $50 order too. So I'm like, well, hey.
So what do you do as far as customer care in that, Laura?
I called her and she didn't answer.
Whoa!
But I left a message and just said, thank you for your order. Let me know if you need any ideas or if you need anything else, or if you just want to chat and get to know me. And yeah.
Oh, good idea to call her. I'll be honest with you. I always send an email, but I love your calling idea. Good for you.
Yeah, I always double check that they like opted in to receive communication, because especially with a call, like that's kind of, not everybody wants to answer their phone either. So I always make sure that they like opt in for that. But yeah.
Well, good idea, Laura. Congratulations, getting a client. That's awesome. Well, time for one more. Does anybody else have a victory that they would like to share? You just shout it out.
I will.
Oh, Lisa, yes.
Yeah. So I'm doing Tastefully Simple full time now. Today starts my 2nd week. Last week I booked 3 October parties. Today I booked 2 September parties. I have one gal that is tentatively signing up on the 19th, And I received a $155 online order today as well. So lots of good things going on.
Yay. Awesome, Lisa. That is fantastic. I would like you to share quickly, because I want you to share with Julie Kavanaugh too, how you got that potential person joining on the 19th. Can you share that with everybody quick?
I'm using the Amy app. And so she was a host back in July. And so the message popped up to follow up with her. So I followed up with her and she said, yep, received my products and I'm loving them. We use the Ultimate Steak and I'm going to be needing to order more. And so I followed up with how about becoming a consultant, because we've had that conversation in the past. She's a repeat host. And so she asked a couple questions about what it involved, minimums. And that is where she came back with follow up with me again on the 19th. I have an unexpected money fall coming that week, and she's going to sign up on the 19th.
Oh, that is awesome, Lisa. Congratulations. We're not going to really talk much about the Amy app today, but in that special mailing, it definitely talks about it, and we will do some training on it. But I just wanted you to share that great victory, Lisa. I mean, in a nutshell, doesn't it officially start in September, where like if you haven't joined, just wait, because then it will download, right, Lisa, automatically?
Yes, if you aren't currently using it, you're encouraged to wait until September, because all of your information, your contacts, your orders will sync in September. So a lot less work, data entry, if you wait for the rollout.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Lisa, and congratulations, and keep us posted.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And I kind of see a little glow around you, Lisa, with this, doing this full time now. You look a little more relaxed. Yeah?
Yeah. The glow is probably from spending more time outside, but yeah, stress level is like minimum.
Yeah.
I want to be Lisa.
Well, that is another conversation, another training that we will have down the road as well. So I love it. Okay, so thank you for sharing. So let's move on. I want to just share a couple tips before we dive into this amazing catalog. I think, Laura, you shared this idea with me, and I'm going to share it with you all. I'm going to add another person here. So you notice that with our meal kits that I think all of them are freezer friendly. And it will say, make ahead and freeze, but I know the 10 meal ones are. So you know how the freezer to oven is in like a 9x13? So a lot of people that only have 2 people to feed do it in, you know, the smaller ones. But Laura, I know for sure you shared this with me, right? Or did someone else? Laura, you did not share this with me?
It was Katie
It was me.
or Angie. Katie or Angie, one of the two.
So-
Do the
It was
bread
at
pan.
Party Palooza though, when we were talking about it.
So do 3 of these.
I do.
Yeah, Angie, you shared that with me.
Yeah.
How awesome. Now, these were $1, you know, there's 3 of them. And how cool is that? So when you have people say, well, I'm not going to do that, it's just my husband and I, maybe they want this one, or maybe they want this one. I know Isabel, our youngest daughter, is going to be in an apartment this year at NDSU, and she works at the grocery store. She's like, what are you doing, Mom? I said, this is for freezer meals. I said, we need to do that for you. So, you know, college students, parents that are older, yourself. So anyway, I thought that was a great idea, Angie, that you had shared with me. But how fun, someone that just had a baby. Oh my gosh, there's so many reasons, you know, and we'll do a training on freezer meal workshops as well, just not today, but I love that idea. I would encourage you to do that yourself.
I have
Okay,
a question.
yeah,
How long do you cook them if you break them into thirds?
and
I just I do it usually about 10 minutes less than the big ones, and I just kind of watch it a little closer, but it's actually usually only about 10 minutes less.
Okay,
So
sweet,
if it's
thank you.
45, I go like 35. but you definitely want to watch it closer.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
and I use a meat thermometer more than anything because I always get nervous about it being frozen and stuff. Yeah, so I get it up to 160. Mhm.
Good idea. I love it. Good question, Carrie. Okay, my other tip. Can you guys see what this is? It's a QR code. So when I did that vendor or that street fair where I sold $10,000 in 3 days, worked my ass off. The Osborne book lady next to me had this. And so if you do events, do this. I'm even gonna have it on my party display because I have a party tomorrow night. And here's what you want to write down. You can set it up for first 14 days is free. And then after that, it's $10 for the year. So here's where you're gonna find your information. QR code generator.com. Raise your hand if you currently do this.
There's a free app too, Sherry.
There's a ton of free ones.
Yeah, I think it's just called QR code generator and reader or something like that. It's like a really generic name. But that's what I have, and it's totally free, and you can do like there's no really missing features or anything.
So when we get done here, do you want to just add that? Are we just share that on the team page? Thumbs up. Yeah, just share that on the team page if you would. Okay, well, this is what the Osborne lady did, and I have no idea, but for $10 a year, whatever. So,
Sherry,
yeah,
where does the QR code lead you to? Is that your website or what?
it goes because I don't have an active VIP page. Fault. Mine is currently going to my business page on Facebook.
Okay.
That is more active for me, and I'd rather have them until I get that VIP page up and running. Now, Brooke, Abel, my daughter, she has it go to her VIP page. I can check that.
Wherever you tell it to, Lisa, wherever you tell it to go is
Yeah.
where it goes.
Yeah, I was just wondering which one she was using.
Yeah.
I'd probably use like my link tree. I don't know if anybody's doing link tree, but
Oh, yeah.
that could be something too.
That's what I do.
Mhm.
And then I have a couple links on there. I was telling you, Sherry, like do we know when that quiz is going to come out, by the way? Because I was looking for it, that meal kit quiz thing that's supposed to be on the site somewhere.
I remember writing it down. It was later than the whole launch, I know. Like the
Yeah,
23rd,
I
wanna
just didn't
say.
remember the date.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm gonna add that eventually too, but right now I have a couple other like links on there too, but so I just have my Tastefully Simple one is the first one. So when people ask for my link, I always have it set up to my, I always set up a monthly party. So that I can use that for getting my products for free, basically with the host rewards. So I just change that link every month, whatever. And I do pay for the Linktree Pro so I can have that information, but you don't have to.
I use the free Linktree.
Yeah.
Just raise your hand if you use Linktree. So a few of us. Okay, and that'll be.
What is Linktree?
Who asked that? Oh,
Chris did.
Chris, we'll talk about that at another time, but just briefly, it is like if you're doing more than one party in a week, you definitely want to use, you know what, I'm going to share the screen here. Just because you definitely want to use more than one.
It's basically like a landing page that you can put multiple links on.
Okay.
Yeah, so like if you're doing more than one party, like I said, a week. So I use Linktree in my SynShare because just want to show you what it looks like. It's really very easy. Sign in, and I use the free one, Laura. But I'm sure what you're doing is awesome too. So right now I have like 2 of my own parties and 2 basically blast off parties. So do you see over here, it says important info at CS Sherry. please click on your host name to shop. And then it just takes them, and then on the very bottom one, I have joined my Facebook business page and stay connected. Again, I don't have a very active VIP page at this point. I just choose to do my business page. So that's what mine looks like. So does that make sense? And that's all free. And when I update this like weekly, it just updates Linktree for me. And so then when I say shop, like in my parties, I use SynShare. See where it says my Linktree? That's what I do for party link. That's what I share. You see where my arrow for that is right up there? So anyway, that's just a brief broad stroke. I know Angie's talked about it. I know, Mark, but anyway, that's what that is. So I wanted to give you an idea on that. So if you're interested, we can definitely do a training on that coming up. Okay. Remind you about the gift with purchase, the consultant assortment. Does anybody know the price of that? What's the price of the consultant assortment? That looks like you guys are all on mute.
$159.
Yeah.
$159.99.
$159. So I'm lucky because I live close to Alexandria. This I absolutely love. Now, if you were at Party Palooza, you could see it. It is thick, it's nice. I love to make cookies. And that's the silicone baking mat and the silicone scrub cloth. And that is valued at $19.99. It's in the catalog. And that is your gift when you buy a consultant assortment. Anybody else excited about this? Yeah, I think it's awesome. So that's your gift with purchase when you buy the consultant assortment, one per consultant, and available until the end of the month. Any questions on that? Okay, well, when you get the catalog, it's always like being a new consultant. I mean, obviously we're excited because of all the new, I think there's 22 new products in here, and that would include like the Wahoo chili and the creamy wild rice soup, some returning favorites. But I really invite you to look through the catalog. You guys, it really tells a story. It talks about our number one product. It talks about, our signature blends. Anyway, it really tells a story. But I just wanted to point out a couple things. Raise your hand if you have the live portrait app on your phone. Laura and I are the only, there's a couple, Angie and Carrie, Katie. Okay.
From last season, they started that, so I still have it, yeah.
Yep, so the live portrait app is talked about down on page 3 of your catalog. And I think there's at least 3 spots where you can click on, and this is really fun to share at your parties. Here's one of my favorite ones. It's on page 10, and it's the dressing with the vinegar, with the aged balsamic vinegar of Modena and the citrus herb and the avocado oil. So how cool is that? It shows them right how to do it. So if you don't have it on your phone, you need to do it, and then you need to watch. Even it talks about go nuts for donuts. If you're like, I don't get how that works, the little arrow is over here and it'll show you exactly how it works. Of course, you can do the same for the join. What if someone at your party seems really interested or whatever? Have them take the catalog home. Of course, you're going to set up a time to talk to them, but there's the little app for that as well, so they can see whatever page it is. So utilize that, download it on your phone, the portrait app. Okay, when you go to the very back of the catalog, I just want to remind you of some important things back here. First of all, there's an appendix. I hope you're pointing that out at tasting parties because it really helps people find products. But remember that little triangle means there's no gluten ingredients. There's another little special savings for you. And then of course the TS Eat Well. And then remind people of standard products and seasonal items for new people that haven't been to our parties for a while. So that's just, especially the gluten-free, I'm getting more people asking about no gluten ingredients, excuse me. And then when you look at the catalog, like I said, go through it, be excited. You can even use some of the verbiage in the catalog on your online parties or in your parties. And I always share to new consultants or to anybody, share what you're excited about. You know, if you love that creamy wild rice soup and mahu chili like I do, I'm sharing that at my parties. Tell them why they have to have that, why they can't live without that. So share what you think is really exciting, and then you will sell it. We talked about this before, a lot of you were on, but the blog, raise your hand if you check out the blog every so often. So not too many of you. The blog is found on, tastefullysimple.com. Click on blog, and I shared it on the team page. And Ryan is actually one of the people that's pictured in the blog this particular month. So check it out. There's lots of great ideas on that blog. They've hired someone to write these blogs. I think is it every week or every other week? Capitalize on that information. Get excited and check out the blog. Okay, next or this month, hopefully, I'm partnering with Angie Schaefer, and we're going to be offering discovery calls. If you were at Party Palooza, whether in person or virtual, Kelly Wenzel talked about discovery calls, and that is an opportunity for you to either join us if you're not quite sure how the join process works anymore, or you have potential new people and you just need a little help. So we're going to be doing that twice a month as we grow a culture of sponsoring here on the Dream Achievers team. So they're called discovery calls. Next Monday night, we're going to join Margaret Thompson Garner, and she's going to talk about shining in leadership. It's a call they're offering, and instead of talking over that, we're just going to join her. So just stay tuned. I'll share that on the team page. All right. What questions do you have? I'm just going to kind of open it up. Whether you have a question, a tip, or a comment, here is your opportunity to either ask or offer.
I just made the creme brulee bars as a 9x13 pan.
Yep.
And if you have any of the cake, you wet these things down and you wrap them around the pan. I can't think of what they're called. That will help keep from overcooking. The edges of my creme brulee bars were a little done, while the center took longer to bake.
So is it Tammy or Tamara?
It's Tamara.
Tamara, okay, just like it says. So on here it says an 8x8.
It is an 8x8. I doubled it.
Oh, okay, you doubled.
I doubled it, and I had none to bring home. They were gone within the first day of quilting class.
What would you put underneath? I didn't quite understand what you're talking about.
I will find what it is and post it in our group.
Okay.
But you wet them. It's something cake decorators use to keep our cakes to cook at an even consistency. But you wet them and then you wrap them around the pan. And so around the edges, yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, find out for us. That's awesome. Well, it sounds like everybody really liked them.
Oh, yes. I had lots of orders.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, I couldn't believe it.
Well, wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing. Yes, share the tip for the rest of us. They are amazing. I have them here. I'm going to be making them, and I did taste them, and they are great. Does everybody else love them?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Well, coincidentally enough, when we were at the Mall of America for conference, I think I told Angie this, or Lisa, or Sheila. I was walking and I walked by Caribou, and there were 3 men, like middle-aged, well, probably more in their 30s, 40s, so very young. Anyway, the 3 men were talking about how they like, one was like, I love creme brulee. And I was like, creme brulee? Oh my gosh, I love creme brulee. So I just thought it was so funny. How did I happen to hear that conversation when we are now carrying creme brulee? So it's a great product, easy to make, and everybody loves it, I guess. So thanks.
I hope it's permanent in the line because I love creme brulee.
We sell the heck out of it. That's how they decide. Then it easily could be crisp. Yeah. Good. Okay. Any questions, comments, tips?
I have a comment. Does everyone know where to find what is in the party food kits?
Want to tell us?
Yes, no. So if you click on parties and orders, party, and then sampling, you'll find the contents. And you can even, I'm like Sherry, I like paper, so you can even print out the party menu.
Yep, thank you.
Do you
for
know which kit to order?
Yeah, Sheila, thank you for bringing that up, because I'm like, look at me, just like you, sister. And I don't know which one I'm gonna share with you what I do, and then I want Sheila to add her 2 cents to this. I always pick which one I like the best. And then honestly, to keep my life simple, that's what I do, like the whole season. Unless Sheila has a party tomorrow, and then her best friend books a party in 2 months, I would give her the option. But honestly, if it's just a booking and then whatever, they usually don't care, and it just makes life easier. So I do that. What about you, Sheila? What do you want to add? Because you do a lot of tasting parties as well.
I do the same thing you do. I pick my favorite one, and that's the one I use all the time, because that way it's easy for me to remember what they're making also.
Do you give it to them for free or do you charge them for it?
I give it to them for free.
Yeah, me too. And I either deliver it if they happen to be in my community, or I will mail it as well. But I do it. I order a bunch of party food kits and get them ready, because now everything fits in that box. I like to put the catalogs, I like to put the souffle cups, but I know people do a variety of things. So good question, Laura.
We can direct ship those from headquarters though too, right?
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
You
Oh, okay, thanks.
You absolutely can. It just, I mean, you could add, yes, you can. It just is the generic, it doesn't have the other stuff in. But yes, you can. It's a good question. What else? What other burning questions do you have?
Well, I asked you this earlier, Sherry, and Katie and I were talking about it. And she told me to ask here, and I was like, oh, that's a good idea. But so I am thinking about doing so I was talking to somebody else who is in network marketing today, ironically, about her business came up, whatever, in a new product they have. And so she was talking about product testing, and I was just thinking in my head, oh, that's a good idea. I haven't ever seen anybody who has offered taste testers or product testers for Tastely Simple. Not that no one is doing it, I just haven't seen how it's done yet. But I was just thinking, since I haven't ever seen anyone do that, there must not be a ton of people doing it. So I was like, oh, that would be a good idea and might help boost sales and stuff. If people can just do this, just test the product or whatever, and then see if they like it. And I was thinking maybe giving a discount or something, so that I still am making money, but maybe a little bit of a discount just so it feels worth it to them, or so they feel special. But with our love it guarantee, I don't necessarily have to do it. They can just get their refund if they don't like it or whatever too. But I was just thinking about that. Has anyone done something like that, or any ideas on how to run something like that?
Laura, I'll just add my 2 cents on that, and then if anybody else wants to add as well. If I wouldn't do it myself, because I stay busy with tasting parties, events, online parties, but I would just, if I was to go down that route and what you're saying, my first thought would be a catalog and 2 samples, and stick it in an envelope, and they're your taste testers. But like I said, we're really doing that, Laura, with tasting parties and online parties. So I don't want to shoot you in the foot, because I'm, if it's a great idea and you love it, then you need to run with it. But
I just don't do as many parties during the school year just because I have school and everything going on. Too, I'm gonna try to do more this year with bigger goals and stuff that I want to hit. But it was just, yeah, something that I was thinking about doing to kind of buffer that a little bit or whatever.
See, Laura, I'd rather see you get 5 online parties from now till November or now till October, whatever you can fit into your schedule. That's what I would rather see you do. But if anybody else has any comments they want to add, feel free. Okay. Well, I was just gonna end, so thank you for bringing that up, Laura. You know, and maybe someone will spin something, or you'll spin something off of that, or maybe that's what you'll decide to do. So there's no wrong or right way. So I just wanted to end with, to honor our time, is here's my best advice. When it's a new catalog, try not to get overwhelmed and never think you're gonna know everything, because you never will. So you also have to remind yourself your IPAs, and that stands for income producing activities. So what are you gonna do to put money in your pocket? But you know, maybe you're like, I'm not really doing this for the money, which I have a hard time believing, but what are you gonna do to share these products and bring value to your family and friends? You know what I mean? How's life gonna be better for them by you sharing our products? So are you gonna do online parties? Are you gonna do tasting parties? Are you gonna do events? Hey, freezer meal workshops are a big hit. You know, there's all Zoom parties that's coming up. There's all kinds of different income producing activities that you can do. Maybe you have a bunch of taste testers like Laura wants to do, you know, whatever you want to do, but what are you going to do that's income producing? So I just ask that you set some monthly goals and go from there and have fun while you do it. So I'm going to stop the recording. And you can sure stay on if you have anything else you'd like to add.